years and 10 videos later, Samuel Bankman-Fried has been sentenced to 25 years in a medium security prison for the securities fraud that brought down FTX and Alameda Research. Those 25 years are just half of what the prosecutor was asking for and about 20 years more than SBF's own defense attorneys suggested. Some say it's too little. Very few say that it's too much. But go ahead and drop your pro se opinion on his sentence down below so we can just get into the video already. So a lot of numbers were thrown around concerning a sentence length after SBF was charged with 8 counts relating to wire fraud, commodities fraud, securities fraud, money laundering, and violation of campaign finance laws. Now, as most of you will already know, later down the road, there were more charges that were added, and then there were some that were dropped. All in all, SBF was facing the potential of a sentence of over a century, as the Department of Probation was recommending a 105-year sentence. Now, the probability of a 100-plus year sentence was always low, something I've mentioned in my videos, but it was out there. I mean, it existed. With a range from, let's say, 5 years to 105 years, how did the judge choose this number for SBF? All right, imagine that you've dipped your toes into the world of embezzlement. You've been caught with your hand in the proverbial cookie jar, swiping a few extra donuts from the company's finances, which with SBF, they weren't cookies, but gold bars, and you didn't eat them. You funded a failing business. And they weren't gold bars, but 40-pound cinder blocks of gold. Here's how the federal sentencing guidelines might size up for a first-time white-collar troublemaker like yourself. Think of these guidelines as the legal equivalent of trying to untangle headphone wires. It's all about sorting through the mess of your criminal history, the severity of the offense, and any other tidbits that the judge wants to throw into the mix. But since you're a newbie to the whole crime scene and you're arguing that you're not exactly, like a professional bank robber, we're not talking about maximum security prison here for you, but we are talking about prison. Yeah, for sure. Instead of a long time in prison, SBF wanted something gentle and easy. Maybe some community service, probation, or a stint in what we'll call the naughty corner, like a halfway house. But even he conceded that 5 years was appropriate, and good for him, because here are the things that the judge considered before making this ruling. Number 1, the offense severity. The seriousness of the offense committed by the defendant, including the nature and circumstances of the offense. Here, there's no violence. However, there is a massive economic harm. However, let's revisit that economic harm in just a little bit, because there's a wrinkle. Number 2, criminal history. The defendant's past criminal conduct and history, which can influence the sentencing decision. This is a great one for SBF. He doesn't have a criminal history apart from this. Now, on the other hand, this one gives him 8 criminal histories, and it might have been important for the judge to note that his 8 offenses were committed over and over and over. It's not like he just ran one stop sign. He drove through town and cut down every stop sign in the town all in one night. Number 3, victim impact. The impact of the offense on any victims, including physical, emotional, and financial harm. Well, I told you we'd revisit this topic later, and here we are. Because of circumstances outside SBF's control and mostly relating to the volatility of digital currency, there's a strong possibility that all of his victims will be made whole. I mean, what were the chances? Number 4, acceptance of responsibility. Whether the defendant accepts responsibility for his actions and demonstrates genuine remorse. Whoa. This one was not good for SBF. I mean, not good at all. Sam insisted that what he had done was nothing wrong. He called all the key witnesses liars. He showed no remorse, and Judge Kaplan even called him out on this during his sentencing. Number 5, cooperation with authorities. The extent to which the defendant cooperates with law enforcement and prosecutors, which can lead to a reduction in sentence, but not here, because he didn't do that. Number 6, presence of aggravating or mitigating factors. Any factors that may aggravate or mitigate the defendant's culpability, such as the defendant's role in the offense, use of violence, or coercion. This one generally goes in Sam's favor, in that this was not the type of crime that put people in the hospital, and because crypto prices eventually bounced back. You know who this one does help is his co-conspirators who testified against him, because they were like pawns in his game. Number 7, statutory minimums and maximums. The mandatory minimum and maximum sentences prescribed by law for the offense committed. Well, actually the offenses committed, and that's right where we are. We're in that range. Number 8 is the sentencing guidelines range. The range of sentences recommended by the federal sentencing guidelines based on the offense severity level and the defendant's criminal history category. Well, that's why we're right here at 25 years. Next, equitable sentencing, ensuring that the sentence is fair and proportional to the offense committed, taking into account individual circumstances and the principles of justice. This is the one consideration for which there's really no analog that the judge can lean on. It's not a lot of people who have stolen $11 billion before, and when they have, it's pretty weird that all of the money was eventually recovered. After that, we have public safety considerations, the need to protect the public from future criminal conduct by the defendant and to deter others from similar offenses. Yes, you have to send a message, especially because we are at the dawn of the era of crypto crimes, and it wouldn't surprise me if on some level, some of SBF's 25 years are attributable to the judge wanting to, kind of make an example of him. But 25 years isn't all that SBF was sentenced to. He was also ordered to pay back that $11 billion as an asset forfeiture. Ooh, where's my checkbook? Judge, are you a Venmo guy or PayPal or Cash App? I guess the judge made that number up, right? And no, that was the amount that the prosecutors proved beyond a reasonable doubt was taken by SBF, $11 million. Wait, what? Oh, $11 billion. It's great for the victims that it looks like this amount is actually going to be paid back. I can't really believe it, but it's to no thanks to SBF. God bless the volatility of crypto assets. Am I right? While handing down his judgment, Judge Kaplan explained that he didn't buy SBF's claims of ignorance of any wrongdoing or the defense's claims that FTX customers would be paid back. He also found that SBF had attempted to tamper with witnesses, leaking information to the press, contacting potential witnesses, etc., and perjured himself multiple times, including falsely testifying that he had no knowledge that his trading firm Alameda had spent FTX customer funds until the fall of 2022. So while it seems that we're nearing the end of the road in our FTX saga, the door is still cracked open, seeing as SBF's attorneys have already stated that they will be appealing.
We are America!
Good grief. Everybody with money says they're gonna appeal. And hey, that's fine. He has the right to appeal. But let's look at the big picture here. SBF stole millions of dollars. I'm sorry. I keep doing that. He stole billions of dollars. And he's going to jail for about 25% of the amount of time that he could maximally, under the law, have been sentenced to. Judges have discretion when they sentence, and this is well within the range of the judge's discretion. In fact, it's comically close to splitting the baby between what SBF asked for and what the U.S. attorney asked for. But heck, appeal. You're not hurting anybody. Besides, he will be in his, little prison when he appeals. If SBF could turn back time, I'd love to see him run through this trial again, but he doesn't witness tamper. He doesn't go on the nerds version of Truth Social and explain that he didn't do anything wrong. He doesn't take the stand and claim innocence. Instead, I would have loved to have seen how long his sentence would have been if he would have owned the crime, apologized and said he wanted to make it right, etc. But
I guess we'll never know.
But I bet that it would have been less than half of the 25 years that he got in this version of reality. Hey, I've already asked you for your pro se opinion, so I look forward to reading it down below. But before you go, I have to remind you that I've been covering the SBF FTX case since the beginning, and now that we're reaching the end of an era, I think it's high time that you subscribe. I've earned it. You've earned it. Hit that button, because as we say goodbye to SBF and his legal drama, the crypto industry's legal problems are just getting started. It's gonna be great. You don't want to miss it. He also found that SBF had attempted Now, while handing